edition of Bringing Back the Smile. How's your week been? Has it been a good one? Have you felt positive? Have you taken some positive progressive steps? Have you smiled? Again, that's the most important thing. Have you smiled? Have you lanced? Have you laughed? Have you danced around the place like no one's watching? Or maybe you've done it when people are watching. Remember, life's about having fun. Life is about living. It's there to live, okay? And this is again a big part of what Bringing Back the Smile is, to get people to start living life more, to get people to start smiling more, to feel better within themselves, because we've had 14 months of incessant negativity and fear mongering, and people are feeling very low emotionally. Like people I'm working with or I'm in contact with, that's a big thing that they're experiencing all the time, is feeling low energetically, emotionally, vibrationally, mentally. We need to start tackling this. Suicide is out of control all over the world. I know people all over that it's happening to. People keep, whether it be in Lanzarote or in Ireland or people I know in different places. This is kind of stuff you won't hear about, but it's becoming a serious issue. And this is what Bringing Back the Smile is hoping to play a small part in that, just bringing back the smile to people, making people feel a little bit better, counteracting negativity, getting more people to watch things like this as opposed to kind of mainstream media, which is just constantly poison to your mind. It literally is poison to your mind, poison to your brain, poison to your emotions. It's just totally toxic. So, get sharing these type of shows and other shows that like Your Media TV have put on. They're doing an amazing job on what they share, so much truth, so much honesty, so much inspiration. And speaking of inspiration, on this week's show, I've got an amazing guest, Cherie Dolan from Dublin, who has gone through a journey that many have already gone through, many are going through right now, but she's got through it with such incredible spirit. She's been very inspiring in the journey. I'm not going to say exactly what it is. Cherie will share it with you later. But and what the way she's come through it, and the way she's shed a tear out of a little sadness, but also then out of joy, because like in every journey in life, there's adversity. It's how we react to adversity. There's sadness, there's emotions in that initial stage of the adversity. But when we get through it, there's immense joy, satisfaction, pride, and we also inspire other people with it then as well. So this week's episode, again, is going to be a great one. And as I said, I hope you're going to really, really enjoy it. I've spoken a lot in the last couple of shows about simple act of smiling. Have you started doing it? Have you started smiling at people as you pass them on the street, strangers in the shop, strangers anywhere that you come across them? It's such an important, simple little action, and I can't stress it enough just how powerful it actually is. So if you haven't already started doing it, please start doing it. And it's a win-win. It's not just something that will benefit the other person, it'll benefit you too, because you can't smile without feeling better. It's impossible. It's like laughing. These things are medicine for our soul. And that's why it's so important that we work on these kind of things and we incorporate these things. And the one thing I want you to be very fearful of, and there's only one thing to be fearful of in life, and that's regret. And if you look at the last 14 months, there's a lot of people who are going to be very regretful of how they lived for the last 14 months. And many will continue that way and continue being consumed with fear and negative emotions. And literally it's going to come a point when you're going to regret it, because life is, as I said, for living. Time is our most precious resource. Time is something that is a mystery as to how much we're going to get. So why the hell would you waste even a second of it? Why waste any of it? Don't waste it. We have no idea what's going to happen in the next second, not to mind the next week, the next year, so on. So why not just focus on living? Live life fully. Laugh loudly, laugh often, smile often, have fun, meet the people who uplift you, be around the people who make you feel better. If you can't be face to face with them, be on calls with them. Just live normal. We need to start living normally again. We are humans. And at the end of the day, there's no 100% safe situation we can ever be in any form of our life. You can do everything you can to protect yourself, and some lunatic could be out of control on his phone or drunk and knock you down in the car. Anything can happen. You could fall off, you bang your head a certain way, game over. You have no idea what's going to ever happen. That's why I stress to people it's about living life. Do things that you enjoy in life. Be around people who bring something to your life. You as yourself bring something to other people's life. Like in terms of creating positivity and creating good energy, you have a huge role to play in it. It's not just about other people making you feel better. How about you make people feel better? And you can make people feel better even without intentionally doing so. Because if you're, if you lead a life that's full of fun, if you lead a life that's full of laughter and joy and smiles, if you lead a life that's, designed to make a positive impact on others, and you typically live like a positive person, you have a certain energy about you. And even when you're just around people, that energy is going to positively impact them, because we are energy. Okay. Think about when you're near someone who's quite negative. Even if they haven't spoken, you can feel their energy, and it has an impact on you. Just like if you're going to meet a person who uplifts you and is very positive, you feel uplifted before you've even met them. So we are energy. And either someone who you're near is bringing you down energetically, or they're bringing you up, and you're doing the same to others. And we have to start realizing that we all have a role to play in this. And this is why positivity is so powerful. And this is why self-love is so powerful. I say self-love, self-awareness, they're both superpowers. Two of them are superpowers. When you love yourself and when you're very self-aware, it's a superpower, because it allows you to live your life authentically, live your life very raw, live your life the way you want to live it. It encourages you to, live life fully, and then have a positive impact on other people, because again, that's what matters. Okay. So smile often, laugh often, turn on your favorite music, listen to your favorite comedian, tell jokes, act the fool, be like a child. It's like as adults, we're nearly taught that we shouldn't act childish. Well, why? Being a child is fun. Watching children is always fun. Again, they're just fearless. They don't think about anything. They're not self-conscious. They just do what they feel and they have fun. We should never lose a child. I think, yeah, my dad's one of a few people who said it to me over the years, like, never lose a child in you. And this where we have to stop, like as adults, if someone acts a fool a little bit, we're going to say, stop being such a child. No, encourage it, because we should never lose that child within us, because it brings us joy. Think of when you're acting the fool and making people laugh, making people smile, or just making yourself feel better. It feels good, right? So never lose that. Okay, we should all continue to be like children. That childishness, that childish behavior sometimes. Obviously, there's a line that can be drawn as well, but it's something that we should always do. So make sure, again, you let that child within you be alive always. It doesn't matter if you're 80 years of age or you're 4 years of age. That child should never be allowed to die. Okay, so live like a child, and as I said, smile and so on. All right. So hope that kind of gives you a bit of food for thought. It's like everything, it's practices. It's like, how do you bring positivity in? Well, watch what you're listening to, watch what you're watching, watch what you're reading, watch the people who are around you. Start bringing more positive stuff in all those areas, and start automatically eliminating the negative part of those things, the people or the information that's going into your mind. It's a practice. It's like, for me, I listen to positive self-growth, personal development, inspiring, motivational type material every opportunity I get, whether it be walking, whether it be training, whether it be when I'm cooking or baking, when I'm doing work that's, not requiring massive concentration, to relax, everything. I always am consuming that. When I do relax and get escapism, it's typically stuff that's more uplifting, whether it be comedy, whether it be, autobiographical, is that a word even? Autobiographies, documentaries, stuff that inspires me. I want to, if I'm consuming anything, I want it to elevate me, make me feel better. It's like music. When I feel it low, I always turn on certain music. Like, I'm big into trance and Armin van Buuren. In terms of when I need uplifting, I'm into many kinds of music, but that's my uplifting music. So when I need that, I put it on, and I always feel uplifted. So do things that uplift you. Okay, it's really important. You're in control. Focus on things you can control. Okay, it's like even us letting things get to us that we can't control. We can't control them, but how do we react to them? That's something that's very important. So react in the right way, Okay. So I hope, again, there's a couple of tips that will help you as we go into like a new week, and just incorporate them and create healthy, positive routines. Really important. All right, so it's that time of the show. I'm going to go in and bring on our guest, Cherie Dolan from Dublin. Like I said, she's a super inspiring lady. I'm delighted to have her on. She's only got a little bit of time, unfortunately, so it'll be a short enough interview, but I might get her on again another time if you'd like to. Please send us your feedback directly to Lear Media TV or to myself after the show, to let us know your thoughts on it. Did you enjoy it? What you got from it? Were you inspired by it? And if you'd like to see Cherie on again, I'd love to get her family on, herself, Paul, and the two girls. They're amazing, a very positive family, and their positivity was massive in the journey that they've experienced in the last 6 months, and also in the last 14 months through COVID, which has impacted them from a business point of view. So I'm just going to get Cherie on now, and we'll get going with the interview. All right, guys. So as I said a little earlier, I'm bringing back the smile as I introduced the show, this week's show. We're going to have a very special guest and a very inspirational story. We've got Cherie Dolan on from Dublin, and I've been following her story, and Paul, her husband, has been sharing a lot about it as well. It's very inspirational. She's going to share everything about it. I'm sure it'll make you maybe cry with sadness as well as happiness throughout it, because it's quite a journey. But this lady is incredible in what she's come through, what she does right now. And she even just told me there, she's on the beach walking this morning before we started the show. So Cherie, great to have you on. Thank you for taking some time out to join Bringing Back the Smile.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Dave. How are you?
I'm all good. Now the sun's shining here in Limerick, which doesn't always happen. So there's a lot of rain here typically. you're the sunshine typically.
Yeah, I'm actually living originally from Dublin, but living out in Mornington, the seaside basically. So pre-COVID, I actually didn't realize I had a beach on my doorstep, to be honest. So it's a luxury to have in these times,
Exactly. It ended up being a blessing, and you end up making you more aware of what was in the surroundings, and to make
use. My Lord, absolutely.
Because it's amazing. Like when I lived in Lanzarote, being right beside the beach and right beside the ocean, it's so amazing, so energizing and empowering.
Oh, it lifts me every time.
Yeah. And it's like that big part of your journey, and I know it has from even seeing the posts from Paul and yourself, and the days again on the beach and everything. It's just been amazing. So Cherie, like for watchers and listeners, if we go back to again, like one thing actually, if we go 14 months ago, Paul and Cherie, they run a fitness business, Raw Fit, and the whole world got impacted 14 months ago, where just the world was stopped. And since then, especially the fitness industry as well as hospitality industry has been absolutely hammered. And being somebody who works in that industry, again, I've had a huge impact. I know Paul and Cherie have had a huge impact. So you had that stress like from March up until 7 or so months ago when you had your next challenge. So that was stressful enough for you. So even, as you led into getting the news that you got, how were things around that time in terms of how you were dealing and coping with the situation, and then go on to, again, the news you got and then your coping mechanisms throughout?
Yeah. So basically we, as you know, went into lockdown in March. My husband has his own gym, and he basically moved the gym into our home and encouraged people to train online for free, just to keep the motivation up for all his wonderful clients. And we did that together, and we had great fun. And then in August, we had booked to go away for a weekend with our little girls. And I discovered a lump in my breast, and it was very prominent. And I remember thinking, oh my God, this wasn't here yesterday. How? And ran down to Paul, and he was like, it's probably from exercise and you've pulled a muscle or something. But family just said to me, come on. And my gut instinct said, ring the doctor. So we did. Got in for, the doctor sent me straight away for a scan in Beaumont Hospital. And so there was back and forth appointments of biopsies and all that stuff. And I kept saying, I'm fit and healthy. There is nothing. This is a cyst or something. And then on the 9th of October, it was confirmed that I had stage 3 breast cancer. Stage 3 meaning it spread to my lymph nodes. So it wasn't just local, it was starting to move. It was quite aggressive. And during this time, lockdown had happened and people weren't allowed in the hospitals. But they told me to bring my husband for these results. So we didn't know going into the hospital what they were going to confirm with us. But when we sat down there and the doctor told us, I just crumbled. Like, I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. I was in denial. And my husband took all the information in, asked all the questions. I couldn't. I just crumbled because I thought, is this the end? And we had to go outside and wait for blood tests and wait for appointments, and then suddenly there was going to be an operation on the 16th of October, and it was just like, it was so fast, and I just kept thinking, this isn't happening. And then they explained that I would need up to 5 months of chemotherapy, then I would have to get radiotherapy, and I just like, am I going to lose my hair? Like, as a woman, I'm losing a boob, now I'm losing my hair. And they said, and by the way, typically you'll put on weight with chemotherapy. And it's like, it sounds superficial to be worried about, but you present yourself every day. And it's, when I just didn't want to frighten my children seeing me bald and, changes. And I really was. I never cried so much in all my life. I'm not a crier. I'm a real happy person, and I cried for anyone I spoke to. I cried. I just couldn't believe it.
How long did it
And
last?
then I'd say I had 10 days before the op. So in those 10 days, I cried hard. And then the op came along, and I just thought, you know what? That's it. I've cried all I can cry. Draw a line in the sand, literally step over it. This is my road to recovery. And as I was going in to have the surgery, the surgeon came out and he was just so lovely. And he said, let's just get you sorted. Let's get you back on track. This is treatable. You know, it could have been, and that's what Paul kept saying, this could have been worse. You know, but when I think when it's happening to you, you're just like, oh my God. So,
because, you know, we are scared out of our wits of cancer. Because again, you get it and you're finished. Like your initial thought was, oh my God, is this the end? And again, that's where even the conversation around cancer needs to become more widespread and people become more aware that it is very treatable, and, you know, fatality isn't as high as people perceive it as. But that's where the information is important to get out, and like stories like your own as well as many others.
Exactly. And the operation, I remember waking up from the operation feeling quite sick, and the nurse gave me something. I fell back asleep, and when I woke up from that, I just thought, that's it. That's that bit done. Now, I was sore, I was in pain and stuff like that, but the medication all kept me going. And something just turned on. I just thought, no, I'm moving on. I'm not going to dwell in this. I felt sorry for myself for that week, and I'm on it now. So literally, I was out of the bed the same day, and they were delighted with that. And then I was home and, you know, on medication, but just very aware. You see, I have two little girls. One is 11 and one is 6. And they were watching me terrified, because we had to explain to them Mommy had cancer and go through all that with them. And of course, all the eldest one knows is that's a bad thing. So we had to say, nope, that's not our story. No, we are going to get through this. Mommy's a fighter. So, and that's what I had to do. I put on my cape, as they say, like, and just no, I am fighting through this. And I did, you know, and I'd say after 2 weeks, I was out walking again and on the beach and just showing the girls that I can do this. And then we had to start chemotherapy. That was a whole different ball game. That was, you know, very strong medication. It's very strong because it has to do its job. You know, it has to kill off anything else that could be invisible to the naked eye on scans. So it was very hard going for 8 weeks. And then they had to switch me on to a single dose, whereas I was getting these double doses that were really strong. Then I went on to single doses. And suddenly the side effects weren't as strong. I was able to move. So I thought, right, that's it. I'm again taking a step, getting back to myself. I started some light kettlebell training. I started doing a little bit of jogging, you know, and I just kept saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Behind all of that, what I was doing was tremendous and incredible and unconditional support and love from my husband, from my children, from everyone in my family, and from everyone we have in Facebook and social media, people that you don't see, people we couldn't see because of COVID, just sending so much love and messages, and whether it was a message or if someone sent us food, if it was a card or flowers, like, it was relentless how much support I was shown, and that just literally lifted me and carried me through everything. You know, I had inner strength, but that was what was pushing me, really, the love and support of what everyone wanted to say. You can do this, you can do this, you know. And I was like, okay, I will then, I will do this, you know. It was unbelievable.
Like, obviously, like you touched on, you know, your girls were a huge motivator.
Oh yeah.
That was massive, of course. But then when you got this outpouring of love and support and people being truly human and like that nice and positive, that nearly made you feel like an obligation nearly to not let them down as much as yourself, as much as Paul, as much as the kids.
Yeah, it made me really proud or something. I don't know what it was to have that much around me. I felt like someone was putting a bubble around me and saying, we're going to carry you through this. And a lot of people actually said that, but you feel it, you really feel genuine words of support and affection, and reaching out to Paul and asking Paul, was he okay? And telling us, you know, our girls were great. And, you know, and it was just words have such a powerful impact, and they were positive words, they were supportive words. And, you know, like I said, having those two little girls looking at you every day and just checking and seeing how's she today, why is she lying down on the sofa, why is she getting into bed, what's wrong, you know, that little panic. And then it'd be, you know, you'd read something online when you're lying in bed and it was like, no, do you know what, I'm getting up, I'm going to get up now. And you get up and get on with it. Like, you have to, as a mum or a dad, you know, you just have to get on with it, because you don't want them to see that you're lying down feeling sorry for yourself. And there is nothing wrong with that. But I'm glad I had the girls there, because I think I might have felt a little bit sorry for myself, whereas having them present in our house just made me want to get up and move, you know. And
I guess as a mammy and as a person, you want to be a good role model to them, you know, which is,
oh yeah,
many people won't see that, you know, and they just be in the midst of their own kind of sorrow, let's say, and fear and so on, which is again natural. And
oh totally, and everyone to their own, absolutely.
It's great. That's where you know you deserve so much respect and admiration, in that you did dig in deep and saw the things that should be a motivation for you and use them to gain strength in them. And
Yeah.
it again shows the power of a proper support network. You know, to have a supportive husband and the kids and extended family and even just wide social network. To have that kind of support just shows again the power of positive energy. You know, again, it's like we were saying at the start, the amount of negativity that's around all the time, it always brings people down. Whereas when you bring positive energy into play, it brings people up, and it casts it. It's like smiling. It's like, that's why I call this bring back the smile. Even just smiling at someone uplifts you, and it uplifts the other person. The powerful.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
It's only a couple of weeks now since you finished your chemo, isn't that correct?
I'm a week over chemotherapy treatment, and which meant towards the end of this medication I was on, I was getting nerve end damage in my feet and in my fingertips. So things were falling through my hands, and my feet were in pain. And so the hospital said, okay, just walk, no more exercises, just protect yourself. And I said, okay. So with joy, I was able to go back doing a little bit of exercise and a little bit of running. And, you know, these are the things that I know are going to mind me. You know, I'm doing this for my health. You know, I've learned that, you know, the best nutrition to put into my body, you know, they tell you just eat. They don't talk about diet at all when you're getting cancer treatment. They just want you to keep your weight up on and not lose weight. But I just made sure I was eating as much good foods as I could to support what the medicine was trying to do. And I really do believe that that worked in my favor throughout, you know.
Also, the way your lifestyle was up to the point of getting the news, you know, that you had led a healthy lifestyle in general, nutritionally, exercise-wise. You were a positive person, like you said. You know, all these things were powerful for you to go into this war, basically, that you were going into. But also then, you know, towards the end of it, and you improving on what you were doing, your normal daily habits, to make them even better. And this is where people see that, you know, we need to focus on prevention, number one, but doesn't mean someone's impregnable. But if you are as healthy as possible, you give yourself less chance of getting diseases or ailments or anything like that. But most importantly, it makes you better able to fight when you do get something and to recover. Like your mindset, especially, was such a huge, you know, ally for you in this whole thing, and having a positive episode.
Yeah, and even something as simple as I remember walking into oncology where you get your treatment, you know, and because I was so like sick, like nausea and sick, and there was a certain smell in that room. So every time you walked in, it would get into the back of your throat. And it's like that memory, I'm getting this medicine that my body doesn't want, you know. But the nurses in there were incredible. Like there was one day I had a breakdown going in. I just couldn't do anymore. It was so hard on the body. And when, like you said, when I'm used to being in such good, my body was good on the inside. That I didn't like those feelings, you know, and the nurses literally just took me in and minded me like a baby and just said, you do it when you're ready. But we're going to get it done today because you're a step closer. Again, they had that positive mindset that would rub off you, you know what I mean, and trigger that, yes, we can do this attitude, you know.
Fantastic. I'm conscious of your story because I know you have to go shortly, unfortunately, because it'd be great to have you on longer. But share people, like, that's only a week where you finish your chemo, right? And obviously that's so demanding and so, you know, damaging to the body in terms of how it debilitates you often. Tell people what you've been doing in the last week or so, in terms of how you've really life back to normal and doing stuff.
Yeah, so a few days after chemo, you're a bit wrecked. So last Tuesday was my last one. So this Monday, I was able to go for a little jog, 20 minutes, nothing major, very, very, very slow pace because the body's still adjusting to getting back. And then Tuesday, able to go for a walk on the beach with my husband and go for, actually, that was yesterday, sorry, Tuesday, doing a little bit of kettlebell workout. You know what I mean? It's these little things that I'm not saying it's just what my lifestyle was beforehand. And I'm at very baby steps. And just knowing I'm going back into this is just phenomenal to me. I still have treatment to go. I still have radiotherapy to do. Again, it could be a pause button. I don't know how I'm going to react from it, but I know there's life after it. Do you know what I mean? Rather than sitting going, oh God, and dreading because the unknown. That's, I think, the biggest fear I had going into all of this. What is this going to do to me? What are the side effects going to be? Because there's a number of them and you're not going to get all of them, but what am I going to get? And it was that fear of the unknown. Now I've just decided you're worrying and stressing. There's no point. Just go to get into it, get it done, move on. That's my attitude now for the next round.
Important attitude. I'm sure, like the words you've said throughout this interview, have inspired people, whether are going through this, have gone through it, have family members going through it, or they go through it in the future. But even it's an important message for life anyway. It's not about just going through cancer treatment. It's going through any obstacle or challenge in life, because that's life. Life's a roller coaster. There's always going to be, obstacles. There's always going to be adversity, and that's why you need the resilience. And it's like what you've shown. One, in your own head, you had to get into a good place and a positive energy, have that support network, have that healthy lifestyle leading into it, looking at ways to make it even healthier. And as I said, you're incredibly inspiring. You've inspired me watching the journey for the last 6 months. I know Paul and the girls are so proud of you. Like Paul proudly posted about the walk on the beach, not just walking on the beach, walking on the beach holding hands. Which but it's these things that, again, that bring us joy. The journey, I'm sure, has made you even more grateful for the small things in life. Yeah.
Oh, Dave, seriously, like just like I said, I've worked all my life. We're out here 15 years, living literally on the doorstep of a beach, and I never valued what it can do for you, what it gives back to you. And just through all of this, even cancer aside, COVID, it just gave us the beauty of nature. You know what I mean? And it's just to appreciate what you have around you, appreciate being able to spend time with your family, and I know people kept saying to me, my God, what a worst time to get cancer through COVID. To me, it was a blessing because it meant everyone was staying in, not just me.
Yeah.
So everyone was protecting themselves, not just me.
And bottom line, it's how you react to situations, good situations as much as adversity. And, you've reacted very well. And, you're a great example, So.
Oh, thank you.
I said, love to have you on for longer. We might even get you on again sometime when you're on.
I'd love that.
But pleasure having you on. It'd be great to even have the whole family on someday.
Be careful what you wish for.
Even a new puppy.
Lovely, Dave. Have a great day. Thanks very much.
It's been on bringing it back to smile, and look forward to speaking to you soon, and have a great day, okay?
Have you too. Take care. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. What do you think of that? Hope you enjoyed it. She's an amazing woman, isn't she? I haven't actually even met the family yet, but I feel like I know them because I connected with Paul a while back, her husband, just online because he's in the same industry, and I literally feel like I know them. She's very inspirational. Definitely check them out. Like Raw Fit is their business, and they're on all social media now. But it's just, again, what Bringing Back to Smile is all about. I want Bringing Back to Smile to be a show where we've inspirational stories, inspirational people like that. People who are going through adversity and have shown resilience and have come through the other side, because that's what life is. As I was saying to Cherie, life is a roller coaster, and anyone who thinks that life's going to be plain sailing is deluded. It doesn't work that way. You will have incredible amount of challenges, but it's how you react to them, and you have to have the right kind of outlook. Like, look at the outlook Cherie had once she got over those first 10 days or so where she pretty much broke down and felt crushed because of it. She got her stuff together. She decided she had to just get more positive. She had great positive people around her. People in the hospital are very positive. Shows the power of positivity. And right now, more than ever, we need to bring more and more positivity into our lives, into our own little worlds, into the world in general. And this is the big ethos of Bringing Back the Smile, where I'm just sick and tired of the incessant negativity and constant negativity that's fear-mongering in the media. It's incessant for 14 months, and I urge you to stay away from it. Stay away from mainstream media. Can't do you any favors. It's places like this, platforms like this, Lure Media TV, and that are there to give you truth, to give you honesty, to give you positivity, to give you good energy, to make you feel better. And in particular like this, Bringing Back the Smile, a show that is designed to do that. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Bringing Back the Smile. Make sure you tune in every single week. Make sure you share these episodes out there. Let us know your feedback. Contact Lure Media TV or myself directly if you've got any questions. If you'd like to be on the show, as I said, it's a case of people jokes, announcements of birthdays, anniversaries, musicians, inspirational stories, whatever will bring back a smile, because that's what we need to do. And we all have a part to play in this, and I just want to facilitate it. And I thank Lure Media TV for giving me this platform to run this show, because I know it's going to make a huge impact. So guys, have a good one. Keep smiling. Remember, even just passing a stranger on the street and giving them a smile, it could be the spark that uplifts them, and it'll uplift you as well. Nothing's more powerful or impactful than a smile, something as simple as a smile. All right, guys, take care, of a good one, and look forward to speaking to you on next week's show.